didn't say it, but I used to say Curitiba in the beginning because I always heard it from him and he said it right. But that was 2 years ago. Meanwhile, we all know how it's written and how it's spelled and told.
What is the most distant place you've ever played?
From here or in general?
From Germany.
Oh, this probably, and Japan. Because, I mean, this is like there and Japan is right over there. And it's odd because sometimes the buildings here, they really look very similar.
To Japan?
Yeah, when you come in here, you may think you may be in Nagoya or something. Just the people look different.
When you started the band, did you ever expect you'd be so big, like playing in front of thousands of people all over the world?
Maybe I'm the wrong one to be asked because I've never been that humble regarding this respect. I've always said I want to go as far as possible, and so, I mean, actually, if you ask me if I expected it, I can say I wanted it. No?
Who were your inspirations then? Like, you wanted to be as big as who?
Basically, it was the Beatles and Deep Purple and Rainbow and all these 70s bands. Even teeny bands like Slade or Hello or Mud or Suzi Quatro or Kiss, basically, were all great Kiss fans, yeah.
Let me ask them if they're as humble, or I mean, if they're not as humble as you are. I asked him if he ever expected to be this big playing in front of thousands of people. Did you expect to be this big?
Somehow, yes. We did 2 years ago. We did a big festival here. So.
I'm glad you're so sincere. Let me just translate it for them. Eu perguntei para eles se eles imaginavam que a banda ia ser tão grande quando eles começaram. Na verdade, ele é da formação original, eles entraram depois. E ele disse, bom, talvez eu seja a pessoa errada para responder isso, porque sim, eu esperava ser dessa maneira, eu nunca fui muito humilde, era com isso exatamente que eu sonhava. Well, heavy metal and rock in general have been presumed dead many times by many people. Has it ever worried you at all? Have you ever had a bad time and have you thought, oh my God, it's getting difficult for a rock and roll band?
Well, I was quite sure I was worried, yes. Because if too much people all over the world say metal is dead, someone you believe it. So I actually had sleepless nights, I remember, during the beginning of '94 when I joined the band. And everybody was saying metal is dead. So we suddenly were there with a comeback album. And with that thing in your mind, metal is dead, you don't sleep very well.
In '94, you said?
This was beginning of '94 when Uli and I joined the band, yeah.
But just turn the camera and you see what's going on.
Yeah, certainly. Perguntei se alguma vez eles chegaram a ficar preocupados com essa história de que o heavy metal morreu, de que o rock morreu. Eles falaram que até que ficaram. Em 1994, a época que eles entraram pra banda, a história corria tanto que eles falaram assim, bom, se todo mundo no mundo começa a dizer que o heavy metal morreu, talvez as pessoas comecem a acreditar nisso, quando não é verdade. Ele falou, bom, é só olhar em volta pra ver que o heavy metal não morreu. Are you living in Germany right now? And what is the heavy metal scene in Germany at the moment?
Oh, there are a lot of bands going on. And more modern stuff like Rammstein is very popular now. But there are more, mid-80 kind of rock bands or heavy metal bands coming up, like, what's the name, Hammerfall and stuff. And so
from Germany.
Yeah, but it's around Germany then.
Yeah, in Europe in general. But do these German bands, do they sing in German?
No, most of them not.
Rammstein does.
Yeah.
So they are actually having some success going on in the United States. So I'm quite anxious to know what's going on then with Rammstein during the next few years, because I like them. It's not typical heavy metal, but they got a lot of new influences, and actually it's very surprising that something like that comes out of Germany.
Why surprising?
Well, surprising in a way that it's more or less a new direction in the hard rock or metal direction, mixed with a lot of digital computer stuff. You may like it or not. You will definitely not like everything, but they have 2 or 3 songs that I like very much. And if they go on in that direction, I probably would like it even more.
And what is their name?
Rammstein.
Yeah. Rammstein é o nome de uma banda. Perguntei para eles sobre novas bandas como anda a cena heavy metal na Alemanha, sobre novas bandas que venham surgindo. Eles mencionaram essa banda, mas que não é exatamente heavy metal, faz um som numa altarinha nos 80, com alguns elementos eletrônicos, mas que eles estão felizes que estejam surgindo novas bandas. Are there any other new bands that you'd like to mention, either German or not?
Oh, well, I mean, There's not so much I get really, because we're always busy and out. I mean, all I could say, there's one American band I like quite a bit. They're called Rebecca. Even though I don't like the recent album that much, but the one before was very good. It would be hard to get it anyway. But I'm more or less a fan of the 70s stuff. And so usually it takes me a lot of time to accept something new. But Faith No More was definitely the last thing I really liked. And, well, then they dissolved, you know. It's always like I become a fan of something and the band goes away, you know.
I'm more or less the same. What is the name of the first band you mentioned, the American band?
It's Rebecca. They're Americans, and I think they will be good if they keep together and do their stuff well. Nobody knows them.
What about the old ones? Which are still your favorites?
Hey?
Yeah.
What?
What are the old bands you still admire?
Oh, well, Deep Purple, Uriah Heep and the Beatles and all this.
What about you? What are the old bands you still fond of?
Rainbow, Thin Lizzy, and all this good stuff.
You listen to Rainbow in the morning, you said once. Is that true?
Yeah, before I went to school and when I came back from school. And UFO as well. You must not forget that. And the Scorpions, early ones, and all that. Like all that stuff with twin vocals and what we are doing, you know. Just a little slower they did it, and also that kind of freak music they used to do in the freak clubs where all the long-haired people with the beards would go and smoke the hash, you know, going like, you know. That stuff I like. Whatever, that sounds like Cult a little. Not the band, but like the thing what I call culty. No.
E a gente falou mais um pouco sobre outras bandas novas que ele recomenda. Ele falou, por exemplo, no Faith No More, que ele